welcome back to the Study Hack series. This is the 37th hack in the series, and in the last hack we looked at how to improve accuracy, which is one component of exam success, and in this study hack we will be looking at the other component of exam success, which is how do I improve my speed. Okay, so if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell button so you keep getting notifications about how to improve your exam results. Okay, again, we're going to start with a quote, which is, "The speed is something dangerous, but very exciting." That was by Valentino Rossi. Okay, so I'm going to share with you strategies in this study about how to improve your speed. And again, we're going to do it from a time standpoint. So we're going to tackle the things that come earliest and then leading up to you actually delivering optimal speed in an actual exam. So in terms of preparation for exam, you need to make sure that you are really well prepared for the exam. So again, have a strong understanding and knowledge of the content, and you're really well prepared so that when a question comes in an exam, you are able to deliver the answer to that in quick time, or in as fast a time as possible whilst maintaining accuracy. So imagine if you have a question, so two different questions. One question, you're staring down at it and you know the answer. The other question, you're staring down at it and you don't know the answer at all. Imagine you have to answer both. Well, in which situation are you likely to spend the most time on it? Well, it's going to be on the question that you don't know the answer to, isn't it? Because you start thinking about it and overthinking, whereas the one that you know the answer to, you're just going to write down the answer and move on. Okay, so that's one thing. Make sure you're really well prepared. So next, what you want to be doing is making sure you're doing practice questions and past papers. So with practice questions, that ties in with the understanding and knowledge, isn't it? Because if you, as you said before, if you do practice questions, you see where you're going strong and where you're going weak, and you can focus on your weak areas and again improve your knowledge and understanding, which will then improve your preparation, and it also helps with application and exam technique. But also what helps with practice questions and past paper questions is when you practice something over and over again, you get faster at it because you have to think about it less, you know? So it sort of becomes more automatic to you. And when things become more automatic, they get faster. So make sure you're doing more practice questions and past paper questions, as many as possible, so that your speed actually goes up, but also you're, again, maintaining your accuracy. So you're answering the questions correctly and in the correct manner. Okay, the third thing you want to do again is optimize your brain function. So again, make sure you're getting a good night's sleep and you are eating correct foods, because they will help with again optimizing your brain function, which will help with speed, because you know you can get information a lot faster. It will come to you a lot faster than if you are at a lower than optimal brain function. Okay, the fourth thing you want to do is also understand how long you have in the exam to do the exam, basically relative to the number of marks. Let me give you an example what I mean. Imagine you have an exam which is 60 minutes long and you have 60 marks for that. What you need to do is perform a calculation. Do number of minutes divided by number of marks. So in this case, 60 divided by 60 equals 1. That tells you you have to spend roughly 1 minute per mark. So that gives you a rough guideline. So you know, for example, if you have a 3-mark question, you need to spend roughly 3 minutes on it. Okay? And going by that guideline really helps you because then it can guide you in terms of how long you should be spending, and then pace your exam paper really well. And so, for example, if you're told that there's an exam that you have 2 hours for, which is 120 minutes, and you divide again minutes by marks, so 120, the same number of marks on that paper, 120 divided by 60 now is 2. So in this case, you would have 2 minutes for every mark. So if you had a 3-marker, again, you could spend roughly 6 minutes on that, and that would be allowed, you know. But again, that's just a general guide. Obviously, if you go faster and you're able to get all the marks, that's even better. Now, the next one is, don't rewrite out the question. This is something that can be quite irritating, you know, for teachers and tutors and other people involved in education. Essentially what you do, imagine you have a question and it says, what is the first element in the periodic table? And a lot of students, what they do is they rewrite out the whole question and then put the answer. So they will say, the first element in the periodic table is hydrogen. And you don't need to rewrite out the whole question. You just have to write hydrogen as your answer. So I say, obviously, I like to write more because it provides more details and provides more points on the mark scheme. But then at the same time, you have to be efficient with your words. I mean, that is quite a silly thing to do and essentially a waste of space and time on your exam. And that time could be spent on other questions. So be efficient with your words as well, your answers as well. Okay? And the final one is don't overthink. So maybe something like a subject like English, where you have like a 40 marker, and a lot of students, what they do is they spend a lot of time looking for points or planning and overthinking, over planning, and they don't allow themselves enough time then to write the answer, and then they end up producing a low quantity in terms of what they've written. As a result, they're going to get very few marks for that. So what you want to do is, I say having a great answer and doing it fast is the best thing that you could possibly do, so having, quality and quantity. But the thing is, I would say for some students, what they need to do is good and fast is better than great and slow. In other words, producing 4 pages or 5 pages with a high quantity and with good, simple points, basic points, rather than searching for perfection, is better than trying to search for perfection and going really slow and only writing out 1 or 2 pages worth of content, and therefore your quantity suffers, and as a result of lower quantity, you're not able to get as many marks as possible. So if you're struggling with speed, then maybe look to keep it a bit more simple and get the basic points as opposed to searching for perfection, and basically moving on with the answer and just writing as much as possible, obviously keeping it relevant to the question. Okay, so the action step would be to follow those, be prepared, do practice questions of past papers, optimize brain function, understand how long you got, don't rewrite out the question, and finally, don't overthink. Okay, so please like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next study hack.